Dilmi, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Dr. Vipula.
Dilmi Mahadurage is the invitee today for my spiritual discussion, and she has been interviewed several times on this channel. And Dilmi is a life counselor by profession, and she has done business studies though, but now, of course, she's into this full time, and she joins me from time to time on various spiritual talks. And mainly, she relates her own experience. She's trying to be pragmatic. She's not talking from the books. She has gone through spiritual practices and read so many spiritual speakers, and she has been experimenting with herself through various types of meditation and so on. And then there was some kind of an occurrence, which she says uh, a seeing through. It's not an excitement, it's not a lightning experience, but it's a seeing through uh, that that she was able to see the true nature of existence, which she will share with us anyway. Uh, so, from this perspective, now the present perspective of her understanding, she sees the world somewhat differently. And that's why we actually started this channel, because from Buddha's point of view, Lord Buddha said, I teach only suffering and way out of suffering. So if you really study suffering and the cause of suffering, it's obvious, but then people can't get out of it unless some kind of a recognition takes place. And that's exactly where she is. Dilmi, let me start with this question. Now, when you look back, there were times that you were not happy with yourself, and could be due to various reasons. And once you told me it's about a relationship, and then, things were not right for you. And then you also had this understanding, no, this can't be true. No, this can't be true. There has to be another way. And there has to be another way of looking at this whole thing when this experience, or you can't even call it an experience, when this recognition occurs. So, would you like to share that with us?
Yeah, Dr. Vipula. Actually, from the very beginning, like in my life, I started questioning like sort of everything. And like, I felt like always there's something wrong with this system or beginning, I thought maybe there's something wrong with me. And then later I realized, no, like there's something wrong with the system. This is something off here. And then I wanted to understand what is the truth. So what I did was like I went looking for it through the religion. And then when I go to the religions, the very thing that I felt like need to unite the people, I felt like people are just having arguments and creating like, my God, so much aggression because they are very identified with the religion. And then I realized, no, this can't be what I'm looking for. And then I went on a search for this whole spiritual seeking, I could say, truth seeking, as people say it. And then I just went on looking for a. Actually, since I'm a Buddhist, I just looked for the Buddhism, and then I felt like some of the books which were in the very original texts were looking for. And then I just looked for the original text of Buddhism, and then I realized I couldn't really. I felt complicated with the text, so and then I wanted someone who's speaking very simple terms. So what I did was I just looked for many teachers around the world, and I found many teachers. One of them is like Osho, and there were many other teachers that I found in my journey. And so I went on a quite deep spiritual seeking. And so, like talking about the long story short, and then I went quite deep into it. I just read a lot of books, listened to many speakers. And then at one point, what they are teaching, I seen that recognition on my own. And then after that onwards, like it was quite shocking because that's not what I expected the existence to be. And there was a disoriented period. Even right now, I could say I'm still integrating what really happened because it's not easy to like embody the what really happened, and still in a process of embodying what I've seen through. And so yes, yeah.
Tell me, in this experience, something that you related was that what is happening is happening. And actually, there is no central control. And the person whom you think is having this experience inside this body is a fallacy. It's not true. Now, that means this is like an upside down situation, a complete contrast to the usual human thinking. Obviously, once you are convinced that there is no doer, certainly things change. And I'm not surprised that you are going through this disorientation at that time. So, but then there is a relief as well, right? I mean, there's a great relief in this. Yesterday, when we did this interview in Sinhala, you gave a nice simile. Imagine a man walking about without a head. Yeah, you keep the head and then you go. And then you still do what you are supposed to do. And that, uh, leaves behind that heavy weight that you are carrying. Oh my God, that's a huge weight. Just in the past, the present, the responsibilities, and what you are going to do in the future. I mean, I don't even know. Before this discussion is over, I might even collapse here. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that unknowability is that much that you have no way of knowing this, right? So it's a kind of a relief, isn't it?
It is indeed, Dr. Ripple. Honestly speaking, like on at that time, I feel like I just woke up from a real nightmare. And I happened to cry like for
Mm.
some time. Actually, after that, what happened was I felt a huge relief because I took it so seriously. Like I felt like, yes, people are like take it seriously. I took it in a next level seriousness. This whole thing, you know. And now I feel quite. I feel for my
Settle.
younger self, because how much she took it so serious, the entire thing. And then I felt quite relieved, and then I cried for some time, and then when I went to sleep because it was like 1:30 a.m. in the night, and I didn't have anyone to talk to, and I was like, I remember I was like, oh my God, oh my God, something like that. I was telling that to myself, and then that's it, and I slept afterwards. So it's a complete upside down of the way how I see the reality. And it was quite surprising because my entire life was oriented around Dilmi's world. This is Dilmi's mom, dad, and the family and the school and everything was oriented towards me. And this is where it's like the boundaries collapse and we are
Mm.
all one and connected. And at that time, I shared with you where I heard my brother was doing something next room, and I felt so much love towards him that I never felt before. And because it's like a recognition, he's myself. He is myself. Like not, I'm not saying like he is myself. Literally, he is myself. So that is like a next level love, I could say, how I felt for him. And then I didn't even go and talk to him because I was like in a sort of disorienting. And then I went to bed and yeah.
Because when you see that this occurred to me 2 years ago when I was in Oslo, and I was walking in front of the building where I worked actually. So I didn't know. So my friend said, "Hey, do you remember this?" So I looked at the building And for a few seconds, I couldn't know. And suddenly I thought there was no kind of gap. And like,
Hmm.
I didn't know it's inexpressible. So I couldn't explain. So, there was no division. And then I remembered you were saying something like this, it's like the boundary disappears and you become. And then, as you rightly said, what can emerge is so much of altruistic love. It's not just love, it's not personal love, it's called altruistic, or you know, you call it in Pali mudita. But these are all, you know, not within the reach of language. Now, can you tell me, you, of course, wanted to work in the business field, but then you shifted to counseling. But when you have to work day to day life, when you have to associate people, your relations, your friends, and you enjoy life, you take trips here and there. Now, how does that, because you have to associate the others, you have to get into their world, you have to get into the world that they believe in. And do you see both worlds at the same time, or it's the same, but there was no one, you know trying to interpret from inside?
Yeah, well, I would
I'm going
say,
too fast. I see both worlds, or it's one world but different perspective.
I could say it's like an inner shift where it's a one world. Like, so I felt like I got more and more sensitive towards the other people and how, like, sometimes a client comes and they don't feel what they are feeling, but I am crying already, just they come. So because I started becoming more sensitive towards other people and how I feel and all that. So it took, that's why I'm saying it took some time for me to uh, uh, like I could say for months and like even years to get oriented towards to live in this way. And then like balancing it with the impersonal life, I could say that how to say that, like there's no one outside and there's no one at the same time, everyone is yourself. This is like a, it's like a, it's like a dance between these two, it just and it's quite uh, interesting how the path is like the integration and the embodiment of that. And I found that like it's getting deepening and deepening and embodying what I've realized is what is really happening right now. And and yeah, everything happening as you said, like the head is like I could again take that example. The head is no longer there, and then walking around like and doing everything. It's just everything happening just like it is. Yeah.
Now see, you have done some studies, and you said you may have gone through some studies in Buddhistic literature, and then like, what about the next birth, or what about the previous birth? Now, is it uh, a conceptual, or it doesn't affect you anymore, or it doesn't matter to you, because you are in the very present moment, and then what's happening right now, what appears right now, is all there is.
Exactly. And it's all the dualistic world where you are a person and you will be living and again and again and again and again another birth. And it is the conceptual and the dualistic world. And the dream that I always take an example of the dream. That's the dream story. And you will have separate dreams and then in separate bodies. So it's the dream. Yeah.
Separate dreams. All right. Now, this is a question which I didn't ask you probably before. Now, you have a dream, I have a dream, and we are going through. Now, is this one occasion where two dreams meet because of this dialogue? I mean, it's theoretical, but
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you in this way, it's your dream and I am a character in that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me tell you, put it in that way. Yeah.
And your one, there's no dream.
There's no dream.
Okay. If you say it is in my dream that you appear as a character, and then if I tell you, hey, Dilmi, now in my dream, I can see you over there.
Yeah.
Then are you there from where you are looking at me, even if it is not a dream to you?
What did you say?
Well,
This
this
is
is,
like, so okay, it's like apparently happening here. Like it's like a, yeah, you asked me the question again, Dr. Ibul. I think I got confused.
two dreams. If you
Yeah.
take two people, and for
Yeah.
argument's sake, I will say this is my dream, and in my dream, you appear as a character.
Yeah, the reason why I said your dream is the
Mm.
reason why I said I always tell the, even if someone asks, always look at from your perspective. That's
Yeah,
why I
yeah,
told that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, is this an occasion where two dreams cross? And then that where it crosses, this dialogue is taking place. Can that be possible?
Well, what really happening is like it just there's absolutely nothing happening.
Mm.
But these characters emerge and it looks like it's like in a dream what appears as real, and then there's a
Mm.
conversation between Dr. Vipula and then Miss Dilmi Mahadurage, and then there's a conversation going on, and it is like nothingness talking to nothingness, and apparently like nothingness happening in this dream world, and that is what's really happening, and but it looks quite real, but that's exactly what's happening.
Yes. And even if it is a dream,
Yeah.
from my perspective, you are appearing as a character in my dream. So if I'm able to see through, oh, this is just like a dream, actually nothing is happening. And even this dialogue, it's nothing is talking to nothing, which is we'll say. In that realization, I have no right to get into your shoes and say what your experience is in the first place. Your experience.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
can't talk about it, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But what I said is
No,
like,
I don't
yeah,
expect you to agree with me. I would like to say I would like if you said no. All right, it doesn't matter. But this non-dual understanding, once again, I'm trying to bring you to very
but like I
grassroots.
can't say anyway. I can't talk about someone else's experience, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
asked. Mm, even to say two dreams are crossing, I
yeah,
don't think that is very superficial, right?
yeah. That is
It's
not
not
so. That's
nothing.
why I said there's nothing happening. It just appears it is real.
Right now, I'll come to a $1 million question. Long years ago, I mean, 3 years ago, I asked you this question, and let's see whether you're answering it differently. Now, uh, okay, let's say we'll take the dream as real for the moment. I get up in the morning from my bed, and this is my house, and tomorrow I wake up and I am in Dusseldorf or Hamburg or even Rome or Paris. And then I will get up and say, ah, yeah, that's okay. This is a dream. No, these are real anyway. No, it doesn't happen like that. I wake up inside the dream. I wake up from the same bed. It's the same thing. The continuation appears exactly as continuation. There is absolutely no flaw in this. Why?
That because it's just so perfect. That's the magic of your mind. Like that mind is so perfectly creating it. It's just absolute perfection. And yeah, but what's the point? It's a dream anyway.
True enough. But then, don't you think the biggest magic of the mind is here? I feel it. Here I touch.
Exactly. Yeah. The same thing, like that is very true, But the thing is, like what happening is with the mind, it has been created in a way that this is very solid, you can touch it and you feel it, and it's all creation of your own mind. Look at how it's just absolutely amazing how the creation has done it.
So
And
isn't it futile to even understand the mind and the work of the mind? And I mean,
yeah,
isn't it futile
it's
now?
beyond. It's beyond because you are the creator. You
Mm,
are the creator of that entire thing.
mm. Why did you say you are the creator of your own dream? Why do you say that? Because you make the causes for it to appear like that.
What do you mean?
No, why did you say you are the creator of the dream and you are the one who is experiencing it also? Creator and the experiencer.
Yeah,
Why did
yeah.
you say that?
That is exactly what is happening. You are the creator, but you can't remember.
How?
You've forgotten. This is not something that I'm trying to like say something completely new. It is something you have forgotten long time back. And and it is happening right now. Like even the creation also has happened right now. It's just no time existing, but that is what's happening. You are the creator and you are the one who is like the audience. You are the director and the audience of the movie.
Yeah, it makes sense. But then at some point of time, you realize this is a dream and this is not true. Can you stop creating that?
Well, not exactly. It just no, no.
Okay, let's come to alleviation of suffering
Yeah.
or alleviating suffering. Now, the moment you realize that this everything is just one happening, it's wrong to say even an event. It's something which is happening, and you are in it. And then this whole creation is experiencing through you because you see, you hear, you know all that. But then this recognition that this whole thing is there is no doer, this is something that's going on, and it's like a computer game or computer program. That realization itself can change your own way of thinking, and then that that appearance may change one way or another. Don't you? I mean, I'm taking the dream as real somewhat, but
Yeah.
that knowing that it is a dream, it is not happening, there's no doer, some adjustments within the dream can change the dream also
Within the dream, inside the dream.
inside the dream.
Yeah, it's an energetic shift, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a contracted energy as you've shared, like as we have talked in the last session. Like, and then it get expanded and become the one whole. You get connected with everything. Whereas you were so contracted and just thought that you are one individual and felt quite limited and pressured. Yeah. And that
There
get
can be a
that it is a release. It is a complete release. To see that, oh my God, the life that I thought and took it for so real was never real. And it's like what it's being created is like, okay, let's take this. Okay, this is being created by clay, right? This is clay That is the ingredient of the clay. And then when you see the life itself has been created with the dream material, where there's nothing there, it's
Mm.
like you completely leave the valley, you just completely go away. And then that's when that
Yeah,
the desire that you had for these things, like if you see this, it is like solid, how can you let go of this? I can't. Like imagine I
yeah.
had a person and I see that person for like they are like in a solid way. I can't let go. I cannot let go. And then once I
Mm.
see that, oh my God, this has been created with this dream material, it's like there's no talk about letting go anymore. Because what they had to let go anyway, it's just not existing. It's not there, there's no person there. But if there's a person for solid, as we see in the dream, I don't think I would be able to let go. I don't think
Mhm.
so. It just I saw it, it is been created with the dream material. There's nothing there. That's when it just the desire evaporates.
You can actually call the dream material as energetic, as energy. Everything is energy. Because even the thought, even something solid like this, and even a thought or seeing, hearing, it's all, everything is the same. It's just that we tend to take something solid as physical and something that you are thinking as mental.
Yeah,
See the division?
yeah, yeah.
So mind and matter. So people make a division between mind and matter because science is proving all that. Science works on mind and matter.
And in the
Uh,
quantum physics, they talk about this already with the whole,
uh,
this whole boundless, the energy and everything. And then, yeah.
yeah, but if you look at the cosmos or the universe, I mean, it's beyond human comprehension. It's actually
Yeah.
no point even. And then on the other hand, the artificial intelligence, and there'll be a time that there will be robots who are fed with human emotions, then you don't even see the difference, in the first place. And you will be just walking about and someone will say, hello, hi, and that's it. And you don't see the difference.
And
And
in
it's
fact,
not
there'll
like,
be like people getting married to all AI people, like
yeah, yeah.
AI robots.
And, and not very far. It's 2036,
I mean, it's
according to
already happening in Japan now.
yeah. And in Netherlands also. And so that,
Oh,
and in a way, it's good because you can have a robot who is predictable, whereas humans can't be predictable anyway. They keep
that's
changing.
why the
Now,
marriage will work out.
yeah, yeah, all right. So tell me, I mean, how does it affect your relationships, your emotions? I mean, do you still have feelings? Do you still have, as when you enjoy a good food, you enjoy that, and then do you enjoy a company of a relationship, or do you how does it work now?
Absolutely, I have emotions, and I feel like I have more emotions than before because I became more sensitive, I must say. And that's why I said sometimes a client comes and then I cry for how the repressed emotions that they don't even feel. And so just that level I have. So sometimes I there were times I felt like this is like it's a blessing that I can heal people, but at the same time there were times I felt like this is a curse that I started feeling so much emotions, and there were times like that I felt that way. And but it's like with the more and more integration of what I have seen through, started feeling balancing out. But there were times that the oneness part was more, and then the
Mm.
impersonal part was like not has come more alive than the oneness. You know what I mean? I had like then there was a time that took like some time to get balanced that out to some from my experience, and then like talking about food and all that, I remember one time I went to Singapore and then I had this tart, which is this egg tart. And then I was with one client actually. And then I remember that once I got the tart, because it was like very hot, also like very warm, and just after the oven or whatever. So I completely forgot and I started like actually mourning while eating. And then I forgot there's a client watching me even. And that much I enjoy whenever I eat food. And I remember the client was telling me, Dilmi, when I saw how you were eating, because I completely forgot that she exists. at that time. And then she said that she started eating that way, like completely absorbed in what she and the experience like she truly experienced to like eat because we are mostly on the phone while eating and we are not even very much present to what we are eating. And then the senses became quite sharp because
Mm,
I remember like in the past I don't even see flowers, so I don't see anything. I am in my head, like it's just I don't
mm,
see anything. Sometimes
mm,
I
mm.
like I go on a trip and I can't remember anything that happened. Like
Yeah.
I was that mentally involved person. I don't know why. Like I was quite involved in the mind and I was constantly thinking, very anxious, that type of a person. And I remember like I came to school from Avisaveli to Colombo, so there was a long journey actually. And then even at that time, I was quite thinking because I found it's a lot of suffering going, moving, like
Uh,
just traveling back and forth. Even at times like that, I was thinking, what's the point of all this and everything? Even back then, when I was going to school, I was thinking all that. So, talking about for me, it was a quite because I suffered so much with the mind and I feel so much freedom because my number one value, one of the number one values I have always had is freedom. And this was quite freeing as a person. And yeah, so it's like everything happens to a body, but it's a different shift, like a different perspective of seeing the world, I could say. Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned this emotions thing because I thought there was something wrong with me because I was sort of excessively like even
Yeah.
even a part of a song or even sometimes you hearing someone's some
Yeah.
grievance
Yeah.
and then it sometimes it exceeds something. I thought I was into this spirituality and we have gone through all this rigmarole
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
how can but then I thought it has nothing to do with maturity. It's kind of this shift that is
It's because
happening.
your heart is opening and your heart is completely open. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
now, anyone like yeah, so I remember there was like one news I heard something like what happened in a prison, like there was a fight between two parties.
Yeah.
And at that time, like some the police people were like physically abused in a very, very brutal way to a level that they were being like their private parts being cut off and things like that has been I heard. When I heard that actually I didn't. I never I don't watch news because I'm very sensitive, so I don't even want to go and watch these. So somehow when there was someone who just met me and shared about this, and before I go to bed, I happen to cry. Like because of the because I felt the energy, like I cried, like hearing that. So that's how it is, like sometimes that's how it is. Yeah, because your heart is
See,
open and it's connected with everything. Yeah,
the human brutality not only in physical actions
yeah,
and sometimes I can't believe now even a smaller thing like I know some WhatsApp groups they invite the speakers of
yeah. It's the
spirituality
emotional abuse. It's
and
emotional
they all
abuse.
get with it and then they will harass that person and then abuse and they get a tremendous pleasure and I
Truly,
mean
that is there's an archetype, Dr. Vipula, like there's an archetype called sadist. Like a
mm,
sadist love watching other people suffering and they get a
yeah
pleasure out of it.
yeah
Yeah, I don't know whether you heard about a sadist.
yeah yeah mm,
And that's why some people really enjoy watching these
yeah yeah
Like, have you watched these? There are shows like boxing type. There's another level, which is
Oh, I mean,
wrestling.
if you watch Second World War
Wrestling.
documentaries, you learn all that. The Second
Yeah.
World War. Yeah.
Some people watch wrestling and get enormous pleasure out of it. That shows that sadistic part of them
Mm.
is coming alive. So, as you said, it's not only physical abuse happening, which is emotional abuse
Yeah.
as well. Sometimes in countries like Sri Lanka, the emotional abuse is completely not being talked about. And
Mm.
but I happen to talk a lot about this because like there could be times where people literally slap you on your face
Yeah. Yeah.
emotionally.
Yeah.
But since it is invisible, no one is talking about it. No, there's
Yeah.
no concept. Like it's like, oh, what is wrong with you? Like nothing happened. It's like, oh my God, there's something big happened, but no one talks about the emotional abuse. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So now let me ask you then. Then there is, this energy, or we call it energy. It's free, it's mad, it's chaotic, it's unfair, and that's, you name it. It has everything.
Exactly, it's everything. It's like wonder sees it's everything. You fear can come, sexuality can come, lust can come, desire can come, anything can arise. That is what the wonders is. That is what the freedom is. But like what is we know as spirituality is, oh, sexuality can't come, attraction can't come, lust can't come. Like that is what we have been like. And because of that, people are getting more and more and more contracted in their energetic field and they can't think like openly anymore. What's the point? My entire journey was like for looking for the freedom. And if you are not free through spirituality, why we need spirituality, God's sake?
And now, if you look at some of the speakers who are, uh, there are so many ways in which you can even enter this journey, even if it is happening through a dream. Uh, Adishanti said you lay your body on an altar and hold a bit and lose the bit. And it's very effective. Muji said if you're on a big ship driven by a big engine, you are trying to do rowing, trying to change the direction. So there are so many examples given to show how helpless this so-called assumed individual, that assumed self or individual is just a hopeless, lousy character because that character can't do a thing, isn't it?
Well, there's a two-part to it, because it is identified with the character. Yes, you
Uh,
like the person can feel helpless, but at the same time, that is not that character, but the oneness and everything. So it's just the total, the entirety, it's the infinity, I could say. Yeah. So. And then
yeah, but
that is so powerful at the same time. It's just there is the paradox. Sometimes that's why it's very difficult to talk about it because you contradict yourself while talking about it. Yeah,
mm.
yeah.
And something I noticed was when I was doing Buddhistic studies, and now I can place exactly where Buddhism comes in among all these uh, versions spoken by the modern spiritual leaders. The Buddhism does have a place. It's just that the Buddhistic philosophy went through a lot of cultural frameworks. So they put that into compartments. And I mean,
Exactly.
just
And
imagine.
also, Dr. Ibla, I've seen especially in our culture in Sri Lanka, like people try a lot to become like a Buddha. But they
Mm,
need to understand Buddha's story is quite different to like a normal
mm,
human person's story. The reason is because he is a prince. He has
mm.
all the pleasures in the world until 29 years, like he had. So it's like he was a complete prince. And then for him, going from that extreme to the other extreme, yes, he can do that because He lived it all. But in our culture, what has happened is people try to imitate what he has done. But for him, he can easily live because he has experienced that. But what happens is when they try to go and try to live that life, completely letting go, there's a repression happens, which no one talks about. No one talks about. And then what happens? He has fully experienced until 29 years, like, because he's a prince. He's not a normal, he didn't have a normal life. He's a prince who has everything in his life. So we cannot ever talk about his experience or try to become like a Buddha, because it's a completely different story. And I feel like that like in our culture, that has become a real problem. And trying to like become like him, because you cannot, just you be yourself. You cannot try to become someone else, which is completely you, because that's a prince. That's a complete prince. The stories, even in human life, he's a prince. He had everything, So yeah,
So, no, that's true because the one who has gone through all that and
yeah.
seen some futility, okay, you know, I mean, I have had every pleasure that I wanted, and then where will it lead to finally? So he would have felt it's time to walk out. And
Yeah.
of course, he had the guts to do so as well. But then, of course, everyone trying to imitate and then try to detach, and then you end up in a massive dilemma because
Repression,
you can't.
yeah,
Mm,
dilemma and a repression and like a trauma. It's like it becomes more
mm,
traumatic than like, and then they're like, it's just when they sit down to meditate, like so many desires is what coming up. And then like that is why sometimes in my channel, especially in the singular channel, I tell if you have some desire, go fulfill it, just go experience it, do not repress it. Sometimes people become brutal and be so hard on them. Say, oh my God, desire is so bad. Like I should not like have any desires. I should not even look at. Oh my God! And then it's a repression. It's just go into the unconscious. That's what I've like studied with the shadow work, where whatever you repress just goes into the shadow. Like it's not go
is
disappear.
why I also went in for this chakra balancing through Reiki healing because I mean the structure is given in mundane terms. There's a structure given, and that structure requires certain energy fields, and obviously now you are using certain techniques. Like you're doing going to the gym. It's like doing exercises. You know how to
And
balance.
exactly, like every person, like they take care of their body. They have like a daily showers and things like that. But then what about the energies? Energies,
Yeah.
like what do they do about their energy centers?
Mm.
Like what do they do? They do none. So, but that is the
Mm.
most important thing in your life. Like,
We have a biopulsar machine. So when you place your hand, the various energy levels of the chakra can be seen. And
mm.
then it explains why some people are depressed, some people are agitated, some people are, so many reasons. But that is beside the point. Now, again, I'm going to ask you now, this experience you had. Now, viewers would love to have similar experience, even if it is not an exciting event, even if it is not like a big event, but something that tells them, oh, this is how it is. And but if you tell them, well, it's already that is, and then what is the difference they are going through? I mean, that shift. How would you describe that you can experience this shift? If so, by doing what? Or there is no shift. It is that already. So how would you explain this to someone who comes to you and say, well, I would like to see the world the way you see it?
Well, what I could say is like you're already that what you're seeking. And this, I still remember like Adishanti when he woke up, like when he just seen through this reality. I was going rounds and like you were just like, you know what I mean, right? You were playing this fool with me, something like that. He was talking to the statue, and then because there's absolutely nothing to do. And I remember one time, like about the Osho, he tries so hard, like he goes to the uh, jungle and start meditating and all that, waking up at 4:30 a.m. And at one time, he stopped doing all that. He was like, I need a break. And then he was like taking like, he just woke up when he wants to wake up. So he took a break and started doing that. Few days after, when he was just walking by, he just suddenly had this shift. And at that time, he was like laughing a lot and seeing through how much hard he worked in order to see what he has already, that he is uh, in the thing that he's already. And so what I could say is there's absolutely nothing you need to do in order for you to see this, because you are already experiencing it right now in this moment. Imagine your center, this center falls away, and there's nothing to fall away because even there's no center there, you know. Only a program has been done. Okay, you're Dilmi, I am your mother. Can you remember as a child, like, mother, 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 this is your dad, dad, dad. Like, how many times we had to be like to share this, like, so many times in order to, like, even then we weren't understanding that that is how you created that separation little by little. And then now it has become such a huge separation. And then we suffer so much through that. And so there's absolutely nothing to do. And what technique a fish need to do in order to see the water in the, because the fish is already in the ocean. So there's absolutely nothing to do. The very doing is what prevents you to see it. It's
Yeah,
like someone would say, but tell me, I do not see what you see. That is what they ask me the next
yeah.
question. And then I would say the reason, like I the reason, because I'll tell it from my experience, the reason is because we are so identified with the person. So we are so identified with this life story. We are not going to give that up. We are not going to give that up. We will give up this or that, like we are not going to give up this story.
Of the
We are
another
not going
story.
to give that story. That's it.
Yeah. I think that's a good punch. It's a good punch. Even if there anyone who is willing to drop that, and that's I remember during the COVID, and I mean this is not to talk about myself. I haven't taken a public transport for nearly 45 years in my life, and then we had
Wow.
to, because no vehicles, no fuel, no nothing, no ride shows,
Yeah.
no Uber. So we had to walk, and then on and off there is a public transport. And then for the first time, I saw I mean, this not to undermine, please don't take me wrong. I had to sit with the janitor who was washing the toilets in the uni. And then for the first few seconds, it struck me, the ego. And then I was asking, what the hell is wrong with you? Look at the thing, I mean, I am the simplest. I mean, I was known as the simplest guy on earth. I mean, in my circle. And that struck me. And that innocent lady looked at me and smiled. I mean, I couldn't see that smile. I was like, I was ashamed of myself. And I thought, with all my spiritual studies, my this thing, my meditation, my this, that, I couldn't take that moment. And that opened me, like, now I couldn't care less, whether I take a rickshaw or a bus or a car, it wouldn't make any difference. I don't care who looks at me. And so you are absolutely right. I mean, these things are playing a big role. That's true. And I think we have 2 minutes to finish. But
Yeah.
okay, this talk, not even a dialogue, not even a you know, speaker, moderator kind of a thing. This is just a talk. I think it can resonate, it can resonate somewhere. I don't know. It can resonate. That's how
100%.
it, yeah, that's
We
how it,
don't know, but I'm sure there are people who resonate with what we are
mm,
talking.
yeah, exactly. I mean, what I'm saying is, for example, after this, when the recording is ready, I mean, it will be published. But what I'm saying is, if anyone asks me, what is spirituality, I could even share this, just listen to this, what I can comprehend, if at all. Right. Okay, let's end there, and we will continue with this both in Sinhala and English. And I
Yes.
wished we did this in the same way in the Sinhala one also, although we were trying to be a little
Yeah,
formal.
for me, I feel sometimes when I talk in English, I feel more free even because I
Yeah,
know that
yeah,
there's some.
same here because I lecture, so we are more kind of relaxed when you speak in this language. Yeah. All right, let me take care, and we will stay in touch.
Okay, Dr. Vipul, thank you.
Thank you.